Good evening, and thank you for tuning in for Chamber Live. I am Christine Curnan, Vice President of the Princeton Mercer Regional Chamber, and I am pleased to have as my guest this evening, Matt Vigunas of Clark Hill, an international law firm right here in Mercer County. And Matt is a member in charge of Clark Hill's Princeton office. Matt is also a member of the Banking and Finance Services Group at the firm. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Christine. Glad to be joining you.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have you here.
Yep, as you mentioned, I'm a member in charge of the Princeton office of Clark Hill, and my practice focuses mainly on representations of financial institutions and operating companies and commercial credit transactions. But again, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So tell me a little bit about Clark Hill as a global law firm.
Yeah, Clark Hill is actually one of the largest law firms in the United States, and it began over 130 years ago. We have more than 650 attorneys and professionals in 25 offices spanning the United States, as well as Dublin and Mexico City. So we are a very large law firm and professional.
No, I didn't know that. That's interesting. And so how did Clark Hill come to be in Princeton, New Jersey?
Clark Hill has always been looking to expand its footprint in a meaningful way. So back in 2015, it had saw an opportunity to bring on a partner with a rather large book of business in the banking and financial industry that was located in Princeton. So having already a Philadelphia office at that time, Clark Hill saw it as a great opportunity to jump into New Jersey and the Princeton and Mercer County marketplace.
Oh, that's great, and we're thrilled that you're here and a member of the chamber and getting so engaged. That's fabulous. So Clark Hill is a really big firm, as you mentioned, and I know there are many of our listeners are small business owners. Can you tell us some of the types of small businesses that Clark Hill is able to support?
As a global law firm, Clark Hill is a committed partner to a diverse range of leading brands, forward-thinking businesses, public entities, nonprofit organizations, and individuals. We've developed new business service lines and programs, such as our HR Advantage program, Informational Governance 360, Reputation Governance 360, and Asset 360. These new programs and new service lines that maybe a traditional law firm doesn't have, with specialties in HR, cybersecurity, and the like, are examples of our ability to develop and deliver coordinated legal, business, and political strategies to achieve business success, especially for small businesses. Clark Hill is built, I'd say, on kind of 5 tenets, 5 core values. That I think would be very attractive to any small business. Our first tenet is, you can always count on more with Clark Hill. We provide practical counsel with an entrepreneurial spirit that I think a lot of small businesses identify with. We look to offer innovative ideas, technologies, and solutions. Our second tenet that Clark Hill is built upon is relationships fuel our firm, and I know a lot of small businesses, are built on relationships and depend on their customers and service providers. We are tenacious advocates for our clients while being, approachable and supportive as well. So, again, I think something very attractive to small businesses. The third tenet that Clark Hill values is everyone matters. From our biggest client to our smallest client, we value every relationship that we as a firm have. We value the contributions of each and every individual in our firm, but also on our clients as well. The fourth tenet, that Clark Hill is built upon is, ethical behavior is non-negotiable. We believe in doing the right thing every time. We uphold our professional responsibilities, are accountable for our actions. Again, something I think, small businesses, greatly value, especially in, some of these challenging times that we're in right now. And the fifth tenet that, Clark Hill is built upon is, it's not just about us. Clark Hill is always looking to make a positive impact in our communities that we're involved with. In this case, Princeton, Mercer County, and the greater Mercer County area. We devote our personal and collective time, talent, and resources to making our communities a better place to live and work. So I think those kind of 5 tenets that Clark Hill is built upon, are very attractive to small businesses. Now, look, we're a 650, attorney firm, global, as you mentioned, but Clark Hill Princeton office since 2015 has grown very organically by recruiting lateral partners and associates, from the Mercer County, greater Mercer County regional area mainly. We've grown from that one attorney I mentioned that came aboard in 2015 to 10 attorneys now. So I think we understand why we are part of a very large law firm and the resources and expertise that come with that. Being a smaller office, I think we can identify a lot with the smaller businesses that are members of the chamber and that operate in the Mercer County area.
Well, that's great. And those values, the chamber is exactly the same way. I mean, but we feel at the chamber that everybody is our client. It doesn't matter the size of the organization, right? I mean, everybody matters. We really want to make sure that we're as inclusive as possible. So we're right there with you, Matt. So can you tell me a little bit about, small businesses are facing such huge issues right now as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. How can Clark Hill assist them with some of these issues that they're having?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of crazy to think about. We're almost a year into this now. This global pandemic that everyone's been having to endure. At the outset of the pandemic, I think Clark Hill, like many businesses, small and large, had to kind of readjust, their ways of doing business. At Clark Hill, we created a multidisciplinary team of attorneys and other service providers that we have along those other service lines that I mentioned before, that could partner with small businesses in particular to develop strategies to help the small businesses confront and endure the COVID crisis. That crisis multidisciplinary COVID team that we developed, was made up of our industry-leading government and regulatory affairs team, that collaborated with our tax team, our banking and finance team, our employment teams, and all those teams came together to give a granular understanding of kind of the new way of things, both in the government with the CARES Act, but also just new ways of having to do business. That's just an example of what Clark Hill has been doing, over the last 12 months since the epidemic's been running throughout the world, really, and really having, listening to the challenges that the small businesses are undergoing, a holistic approach to probably a lot of challenges that they're facing, maybe not financially, or maybe, financially, but also, with employees, employee benefits, taxes. So I think we've developed a really good team, and I think we've kind of honed that focus over the last 12 months as well. As we've learned more from talking with our clients. Yeah.
I think when you think of all that small business is going through, they really do need experts and expertise in those different areas to help them get through this. It's really challenging. I would imagine this year's tax season is going to be really interesting as well, for everybody, but small businesses in particular. So Matt, I know that your firm is very involved in the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we're obviously members of the Princeton Greater Regional Chamber, and we've been members, I think, on a sponsorship level now for a little over a year. We've also been engaging in the community via our other sponsorships as well. In particular, we've been a sponsor of Princeton Athletics for a little over a year as well. We've tried to engage in the community, by taking on some projects, and especially in diversity. Last summer, we kicked off a challenge at Clark Hill that engaged our attorneys and other professionals at our firm. It was a 21-day challenge entitled the Racial Equality Habit Building Challenge. A partner of mine Vanessa Kelly in the Princeton office spearheaded the challenge. As a firm, we look to work to understand via the challenge how issues of power, privilege, oppression, and equity impact the society and communities that we're involved with. The challenge included weekly readings, podcasts, videos, and other observations, and those all kind of came together to serve as ways to form and deepen community connections. The challenge, like I said, was rolled out firm-wide and was endorsed by Clark Hill's diversity and inclusion effort that we internally call Thrive. But the 21-day challenge was just one of the examples of how we engage internally at the firm with activities that would impact the communities that we're involved with. In this case, obviously Princeton and the greater Mercer County area. And if anyone would like to learn more about the 21-day challenge or Clark Hill's diversity efforts in general, you can go to our website at the link below.
That's fantastic. As you know, the Chamber does have a diversity, equity, and inclusion forum that we put together. So I'd love to collaborate with you all on that. And we're just thrilled to have you as a Chamber member. And I look forward to seeing you at events and more involved in the Chamber going forward. And I would also like to thank our production sponsor, April Setti and New Jersey Buzz Productions. Thank you all for tuning in. I do hope you will join us for our next Chamber Live broadcast. Have a great evening. Be safe. Stay well.